Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. The topic of today is phonetics and phonology. What is phonetics? Phonetics is the study of human sounds, and phonology is the classification of the sounds within system of a particular language or languages. Phonetics is divided into three types according to the production: articulatory transmission, acoustic and perceptive, auditive of sounds. The place of articulation refers to that area in one of the resonating cavities, larynx, mouth, where the articulators are opposing some kind of obstacle to the passing of air. The manner of articulation refers to the way the articulators are set so that the resonance effect is possible. Contents. Difference between phonetics and phonology. Phones, phonemes, allophones, sounds voiced and voiceless. Place of articulation, manner of articulation. Three categories of sounds must be recognized at the outset: phone, human sounds; phonemes, units which distinguish meaning in a language; allophone, non-distinctive units. Sounds. Sounds can be divided into consonants and vowels. The former can be characterized according to place, manner of articulation, and voice: voiceless and voiced. For vowels, one uses a coordinate system called a vowel quadrangle within which actual vowel values are located. Phonotactics. Phonotactics deals with the combination of sounds possible and where sounds can be occur in a syllable. The major structure for the organization of sound is the syllable. It consists of an onset beginning, a rhyme, everything after the beginning, which can be subdivided into a nucleus vowel or vowel-like center and a coda right edge. Prosody. Prosody is concerned with features of words and sentences above the level of individual sounds: stress, pitch, and intonation. Stress is frequently contrastive in English. The unstressed syllables of English show characteristic phonetics reduction, and words containing this are called weak forms. Nasal cavity. Nasal cavity. Palate, alveolar ridge, velum, lip, teeth. Tongue raised. Tongue rest position. Tongue tip, teeth, lip, epiglottis, larynx, glottis. Difference between phonetics and phonology. Phonetics deal with the production of speech sound by human, often without prior knowledge of the language being spoken. Phonology is about patterns of sounds, especially different patterns of sounds in different languages or within each language. Different patterns of sounds in different positions in words, etc. The place of articulation, the manner of articulation. Place of articulation, manner of articulation. Bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, palatal, velar, glottal. Stops, fricatives, affricates, nasal, liquid glide. Places of articulation: post-alveolar, palatal, alveolar, bilabial, labiodental, dental, velar, glottal. Plosives, Sounds in whose articulation the airstream is stopped by a brief closure of two speech organs and then released in a quick burst. Examples of plosives in English are pa-ba, ta-da, ka-ga. Fricatives, sounds in whose articulation two speech organs narrow the airstream, causing friction to occur as it passes through. You think of the sounds fa and sa. You might be able to hear how the narrowing of the airstream by the lips being closed towards the upper teeth in the case of fa and by tongue being raised against the alveolar ridge in the case of sa creates a hissing tone. This hissing is caused by the friction of the air, hence fricatives. Affricates, sounds in whose articulation the airstream is stopped as for a plosive and then released slowly and partially with friction. There are two affricate phonemes in English, cha and ja. If you think of the word church, notice that you begin the sound with the plosive ta, but that this is immediately followed by fricative sha sound. More affricates. In the case of ja, think of the word judge. Say the letter da and the letter ja, alternatively one after the other. Do you notice that they both begin with the same formation of the tongue? The difference is that the ja sound in the ja is extended with a fricative sha sound again to make sound out the ja in the word jug. Nasals, sounds in whose articulation the airstream is diverted through the nasal cavity as a consequence of the passage through the oral cavity being blocked by the lowering of the soft palate or velum. Try saying the following out loud to yourself. Tell me a story. Can you notice how dramatically the sound changes when you come to the ma and na? To me, the airflow which is passing through the oral cavity for the rest of this phrase is at this point diverted by the lowering of the velum into the nasal cavity. Approximants, sounds in whose articulation two speech organs approach each other and the air flows continuously between them without friction. If you think of the sound, for example, you can sense how the tongue tip touches the alveolar ridge in order to allow the air to flow literally around the tongue. But without the hissing sound of fricatives, this is sometimes called a lateral or liquid approximants. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Allah Hafiz.